Hi friends, welcome to the third part of creating a simple port scanner in Python. So this is a continuation from the previous tutorial in which I created a simple program called port scanner. So in here, if we move to the desktop, and we see that we have created this port scanner, and if we open it, nano port scanner, what it did was that it tries to connect a port that is running, and when it does, it just tries to grab your banner. So if you connect to this service, this is a 133, it is a 192, 168, 144, 133. So this is 192. Let me change this again. This is a CentOS that I'm running in my lab. So if we connect to port number 22, the SSH port, and we run this Python 3 port scanner, what it does is that it grabs the banner. So if you don't understand this tutorial, this script, I've created a bunch of other tutorials in my previous, I think port 1 and port 2. You can see how I created it and explained it. So in this tutorial, I'm going to be modifying it even further. So in this one, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a timeout. So first of all, in here, let's create open another terminal, and what we do is we run Python. What it does is that it creates a web server. So it's saying that it is serving HTTP on 000, which is mean the local port, or the or all the ports on the machine. So on port number 8000. So what it is doing is that it's running a HTTP server on port number 8000. So in here, if I do an if config, in here you can see that my IP address is 192.168.142.129. So if you change the IP address to 129, and we change my port number to 80, what it does is that, sorry, 8000, which is this one. So what it does is that it connects to my local computer on port number 8000. So let's save it. We can see that, however, it is running and the port is open. So let's run it. In here, when we run it, nothing happens, because by default, when you connect to an HTTP server, it doesn't send us anything. It doesn't send us a banner like HTTP does or some other services does. So what happens in here is that it keeps on waiting and waiting and waiting. And I think the timeout is like 120 seconds. So it waits for 120 seconds until it times out. So if we create let's say if we create a port scanner that is scanning, let's say lots and lots of ports, it will take a long time. So if it has to wait 120 seconds for all the ports, then it will take a long time. So what we do is, let's cancel it by using Control C. Now what we are doing is that you're creating a timeout. So in here you can see that we have created a sock object. So what you are doing in here is that you are saying use the set timeout method of the sock object. So we are saying just wait for 2 seconds. So what it does, the set timeout, is just saying once you connect to it, just wait for 2 seconds and then move on. So let's save it, and this time let's run this. So this time when we run, it quickly closes. You can see that it just waited for 2 seconds and it showed us this timeout message. So whenever it is connecting to a port that is not responding, so it just waits for 2 seconds and then it times out. So previously we saw that it had to wait for like 120 seconds or even longer before it declared it got timed out. So now we have reduced the time. So if you're scanning hundreds and hundreds of ports, this way it can take less time. We can reduce it from 2 seconds even further, but 2 seconds is good, because if you're having a slow network or there is latency, so 2 is good. So this is it for this tutorial, guys. In the next one, what I will be doing is the next tutorial I will be covering how to, in here you saw that, let me open this again. So in here you saw that I am manually entering this port number. So in the next tutorial, what I will do is create another script that will ask you to enter in the port number, and then it will try to connect to that port and try to determine if it is running a service or not. So this is it for this tutorial, guys. I hope you found it educative, and if you have any questions or you don't understand this, or let's say you have any suggestions or recommendations, feel free to put it in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.